Hello, hello. Okay. So, the problem for today is, well, I can't even show you right now because I'm having a number crisis. So the goal is to have items vary across regions because they are the same from a gameplay perspective and only change visually, or should change visually. For example, a rock is still a rock in the new region as it is in the old region, but in the new region I maybe want it to be brown instead of gray. So to do that procedurally, I would go in and have the color change at startup. That's the procedural approach. The other approach would be to just duplicate the object, have a second rock that's called sandstone or something that is brown, and have that placed in the world. Which would maybe be better, because I can then take the rock and place it in dungeons in other regions, for example. The problem with both approaches is I have the region right now with all the old stones in it. So I need to, and I can't change them by hand. I mean, I could, but it would take too much time. So I would like to change them in the other version, or change them procedurally at runtime by looking at the region the stone is in. So that's basically what bit me in the ass, what I predicted last time, by removing all the region information. But it's not all bad, and actually I have a system for the object IDs that can handle that, and I'm currently implementing that, but it's not going the way I want. So basically how it works, every object in the world has an ID, and those are divided up. So as you can see, hero is not that important, but NPC starts at 2000, props at 3000, which means there can be 1000 NPCs. And NPCs is further subdivided into allies, enemies, and animals. So NPC is 2000 plus 100 is 2100, is the ID for the first ally. The next ally would be 2101 and 2, etc. So that's how it works. The benefit of this is that I can just modulo this ID to get the, let's say I have an ally that is a vendor that has the ID 2143 or something. I can modulo this with the ally kind, I call it kind, or just subtract it actually, or I can modulo it and then find out, okay, this NPC is an ally. And I can modulo the index with NPC and figure out, okay, this is of type NPC. So type are the big numbers, kind are the small numbers. And I can use this for the regions. So I would have this large number for the regions, and then smaller numbers. Instead of ally and enemy and animal, I would have forest region, coastal region, etc. So then I can look at the marker in the world and find out, hey, is this a region marker? And is this marker set in the forest or in the coast? And the marker then itself can denote the region, the sub-region, the area, basically. So I have all the markers in the world, but they are currently not following this, but they are in a bucket themselves. They are under extra and area. So they are, that's 5,600 and upwards. Those are the things in the world. They are in the tile, in the world map. So I have to convert them from what they are currently to the new version. And I do that here. This is the proc function that I've used before. And I rewrote it to look for areas, objects that are areas. This is the tile. This is the object ID on the tile. And if it's an area, then subtract the area number, which is 5,600, to give me a list from 0 to 100. So I is 0 to 100. And then basically I divide them up. Everything below 60 belongs into the forest. 61 was a special thing that just belongs into the world. And everything 61 and up is coast. But the problem is, if I run this in the debugger, I is 1201. So I'm doing something wrong. It should be between 0 and I think 70, but it's 1201. So something is wrong, but I'm not sure what. So the area is right here, and extra is 5,000. So there's 5,600 gets subtracted. From the entity marker, and if that leaves x minus is to 1201, then that is 1200 minus 4,400. So the actual value is not this, but it's 4,400. Actual TOI value is 4,400. And what is 4,400? Let's look at 4,000. Not sure if so it's an item. Item is the overarching thing. Item, secondary weapon. Yeah, that makes no sense. because this said it was an area. So maybe that's just a typo somewhere that I'm not seeing. It's I is an int, so that's all pretty mysterious. Let's look at the kind of macro. Wait, do I have to test the type? Looks like it. Okay, that would be... Am I missing something? Yeah, so kind, surely that doesn't say what type it is. That's weird. Okay. And well, it still hangs there. Okay. That's one of these problems where you get more and more confused, and then 2 hours later it turns out to be a typo. I bet. Or it could be something pretty bad. So GDB break tile 897 run. Here we are. What? What is going on? Oh yeah, that's, yeah, okay, that's a problem. Why is there no recall here? 897. Okay, that's better, maybe. 802. It should hit other numbers eventually. What is going on? Okay, that's still a bug, and they And we're back. Okay, we're back here. So yeah, it hangs here. It hangs in the find start position function. Which is limited currently, which I should change, but let me actually change that now. Not here. Yeah. This should be that. So this is X. Should find a start position from west to east. And north to south. Yeah, I'm sure if I don't change this now, I'll be looking for this half a day. Okay. West to east, north to south. Okay. Back to the problem. So it has to be a marker now. Let me actually print the marker. Because GDB has problems finding pound defines. Where are we? Okay, those are not that. Yeah, this is. I need to go to 903. Okay, so at least it subtracts the correct value. So then Then what is happening? Okay, region. Wait a second. What was it? That's 6,800. I mean, there's a 6,000 here, but there's no 800. No, it stops at 200. Is that just a broken object that's stopping me here? Okay, that's in the dungeons. And it's pretty far up. Is that the first marker? Think so. So north, that's, yeah, pretty much as high up as you can go. And then this is east. So it's west. Yeah, that's the first marker. I'm not getting something. Let's look at what I did. Okay, define something new. This is all new. Those were just comments. I removed all of these. So that's what's in the world. Area +1, area +2. So if I find the A1 marker in the world and subtract area from it, I should get a 1. Nearly, we got Steamworks approved. Awesome. Congratulations. That's pretty cool. How are you doing? Other than fighting, not sure what's next. I'm assuming they have to approve the Steam page too. Yeah, it's a whole process. There are checklists that you'll have to complete for the game and for the store page. But yeah, it's pretty well explained. But yeah, it takes time. So introduce these. But they're not in the world yet. Unless I saved the map like an idiot. Don't think so. Oh, man. I'll go through the list when I get home, since I've been at work all night. I'm going to work on that all day. At work all night. That sounds like an emergency. What are we up to today? Fixing my mess. I'm trying to make the objects in the other regions differ in color and sprite. So I'm adding a hierarchy to the region marker objects, but I'm failing miserably at updating the ones that are already in the map. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. Man, this is so weird. I don't get it. Okay, that's another marker. That's good. 5, 2, 2, 2, 14. So that looks okay. A1. Is that A1, A2? It starts with 1, then goes to 4 and 5. Yeah, these are underground. 4, 5. So that works. That is working. But why is the ID so high? Wait, did I screw this up? Oh. Okay, region, this is old. Didn't change that. I think I'm just being stupid. This is all I did. Did not change the value of the area marker. Let me look at the other code that I changed. Tile. Okay, that's the code I added. This might be critical. I mean, type is region. Can flood, yeah. Nothing there. And the proc function read tiles. Yeah, that really just reads tiles. And then I call the proc function, which is what I should be doing, but it was here. Yeah, and it hangs here again. Because it uses all the old markers. Okay, let's path. Actually, let's undo all of this and start new. Yeah. Because the change is actually very simple. Okay. The game should start again. Yep. So let's do this better this time. The problem is I have to change a lot of things at once. So this area marker must go. But if well, there's really no other way than what I did previously. So let's just try again. Be more vigilant this time. Okay, so what I need is... I need region markers. For that, I need to increase the maximum object number. And then I'll add forest region. Well, actually I need a world. And coast. So this should have changed nothing. Just declared some stuff. And if I run inside, I'm here. Okay. So then the region markers are down here. They are all areas. And there's code in the game that looks for areas. Oh yeah, this does find the type as well, doesn't it? Yeah, I'm stupid. Okay, so this is definitive. Never mind. Okay. So place 10 signs along the path, which is actually path stones, but so if the tile is an area, this is just a piece of code somewhere that I need to change. So if the kind is, this will be type, and one hierarchy up, and this will be region, the thing I just declared up there somewhere. Oh god. Yeah, region. And that should handle it. That should be everything there's to it. Same here. Actually, let's remove this. And then here, assign area, type, region. Done. And here, remove the marker. Done. Let's look for the other stuff. There's one in debug. And that is just a test. Yeah, so now the game won't work because there's no regions in the game. So now I need to convert them, the existing ones. Any other game ideas that you hope to get to if you get the chance? Hey Ethan, how's it going? Ideas for the game, you mean? Many. Yeah, I've been, so the adding a part of the new region every week is pretty, will take up all the time. So I'll have to maybe stagger it for every second week so that I can bring in game ideas. But let me think. Had one a couple of days ago. Well, actually, there's such a big backlog with, for example, the holes in the ground or under bushes where you can fall into and then have to climb up a small little dungeon to get back out. That would be awesome. And generally secondary weapons. Actually, I have a huge list here. My book. Oops, I'm sorry. Yeah, making the raptors, for example, really hide in bushes or only come out when you get near. The making trolls push objects so that trolls can squish you if you're not careful. Then yeah, I would like to have, so the NPCs right now, they are a bit scatterbrained, and maybe I want to divide up the responsibilities between NPCs so that there are characters and they all have a different function. So the travelers, for example, well, right now I all named them wanderers, but I would like to split the well, first of all, they are all static right now, and I want NPCs that you encounter every run along the path, that they're placed procedurally. For example, one of them could be a goblin sitting on a chest that that says, hey, you can have the contents of the chest, but only for a large amount of money. So that's currently in the game. With one of the wanderers does that, kind of. But it's so generic. I would want to tie that to a real character. Good, you're still in post-surgery recovery, such as come out Friday. Got a job interview the same time an hour after. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm glad to hear your surgery went well. That's awesome. Job interview an hour after. I read a lot on the legal pad. I don't like digital notes. My desk is just riddled with notes. I feel, yeah, I have so many papers here lying around, and even if you don't look at them ever again, I feel it's good to get the thought on paper and out of your system. So, but there are many ideas. Adding slings maybe with stones. And yeah, but the region is eating up all of my time. And I also want, I mean, bringing in the new region and having nothing new in terms of gameplay feels pretty bad. So, but shoehorning something in is probably worse. So I'll have to see what I can do this week. I read mine on using org journal and rsync them up to my Mac mini server. Even though I code in Vim, I quite like the org mode. Use Emacs for SV and Git RSS feed. Okay, that's really nerdy. Excited for the region? Yeah, it'll be a small portion in the beginning. Still quite large, but I'll release it weekly. So yeah, not sure if you heard that already. Yeah, but for that to work, I have to fix this mess first, and not mess up the code that I just wrote. Okay. So we're back here. So if the if it's an area, it's not an area, continue. And then, well, it's just the same as before. Oh my god. Okay, I have an index. And I don't need the numbers actually. Oh well. I need to change all of these. So yeah. Actually, unassigned is maybe world. Yeah. And this is also world, and this is coast. So now these indices are new, or these short handles. And the objects for them also have completely new IDs. But that's okay. They are now just not linked to the regions in the world anymore. What is this? Okay. So now I'll have to bring them back together. Here. So for all layers, for all tiles in the world, get me the markers. And then subtract the area. Yeah. And that should give me an index. Wait, actually, let's make it all forest. Okay, thank you. Let's make it all forest first and see how it works. Wait. Yeah, there was one to few, forest +1. And it dies. What is going on? So now it has the correct marker, but then it dies. But I think I also didn't change anything here. My god. So it checks if, yeah, I've printf debugged this before. It probably dies at finding the patch. So what this does is it finds a start point. It just uses the rectangle of the world and then tries random points. If it finds a patch, that means a play area, something that's in the play area and not outside of it, like a hill or something. Then it checks if it has an area. And if not, it keeps trying. I think it failed on this. Let's just put into asserts. And another one for this. So that I know what explodes. And it was the patch. So patch at checks if it's in the bound, which should be. Yeah, that didn't change. It checks the patch map, and then, well, it does an assertion here. That's not that interesting, but it could only return null here. Okay, so the patch just wasn't assigned. So there's a huge flood map for the whole world where the indices for the patches are in, and it looks there. And if it sees it's unflooded or it's empty, then I'm pretty sure this is the problem. And that only happens when I go to reject here. So, and the only thing I change is this. So it assigns the area, and when it doesn't have an area, it rejects. So this is the problem. When does this code run? Update tiles. Okay, so that's the first problem. It updates before I change the IDs. But that didn't help last time. So yeah. Still dies there. So, and I'm pretty sure this is why. Well, this is also why. Yeah, so the region is responsible for both the center position of the patch and the area of the patch. So either all the area markers in the game now have an object ID of 0. Doesn't make sense. Couldn't be it. But it doesn't find... Probably doesn't find this. Okay, it does say found. So it does find it. Uh, 6106. 6101. Why then does it die? Oops. What is 6101? It's forest 1. That's exactly what I told it to add. What's going on? Okay, it has the positions too. So this is actually working. What? And yeah, I didn't change anything with the boundaries. Yeah, and it found 1400 patches. So that's a good number. Actually a bit much, but... Why does it then not start here? Why does this... Oh my god, inbound. Where is it? In... What patch add, please? Inbound. Where's that? File. I mean, that looks good. Oh, that looks okay. Well, testing this doesn't mean much, but okay, in frame 6, inbound. X12, 15. You're kidding me. Why? How could this be out of... the test is stupid. And the confusion grows and grows. Okay, so it's not... Okay, this test is wrong as well. Actually... So patch add is not null. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I can't assert that actually, because that's bound to happen. That's stupid. Okay. Okay, that's definitely not inbound. Where does that come from? Patch add. Update weather. Okay. I mean, this is also okay. That the... well... Stupid that I try to update the weather in the starting zone, because the path percentage will fail. Well, it tries to call the path at this position, which is in the very top left of the world, and that's out of bounds. But it's okay. That's been there for forever. That shouldn't crash. So what is actually the problem? I suspect there may not be one. Okay, that's the best kind of bug, where you fix it, but don't know why you fixed it. That's great. But actually that didn't look good. That looked like... well... Okay, yeah. So all these are all placeholder markers. So they shouldn't be valid gameplay patches to spawn on. So that should be solved with the, where's the proc function? Yeah. Bitrate loves it when you fly around the regions, yeah. Yeah, the bitrate really, I think it's my graphics card craps itself. It gets whiplash. But yeah, it should stabilize if I hold still, but I'm moving around the world with the analog stick quite a bit, so it's hard not to be twitchy with that. Okay, so now we know this works, but that actually wasn't the hard part. This was. Let's see what happens. Okay, nothing happens. Why is this line of code screwing me up so badly? What's the income now? Didn't you earn like 200 bucks yesterday? That was over the previous 2 days. So yesterday I sold another 8 copies, I think. Well, it's a bit tricky to see this, but yeah, eight copies. That's $102, but before everything. So you can take 20% off that for taxes. That's Steam deducts, and then 30% for Steam. Steam share with 30%, so that leaves maybe 50 bucks. Well, a bit more. Glad more people are finding it. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Numbers go up. That's not too bad then. Yeah, it's fine. I can live off that. So that's perfectly fine. I'm just yeah, I think after the Steam sale it'll tank for quite a while. But you have these, so Steam is pretty weird, but there's a visibility cycle, they call it, that you can, it's basically a button. You push a button and the game gets shown more in the store if you have an update. And I intend to do that if I put in the last sub-region of the coast. I'll push that button, so that will hopefully push the game quite a lot. And then it's already autumn, the fall sale. So, because there are four of these 2-week sale periods on Steam, they come pretty quickly. So yeah, let's put this through the debugger again. Where am I? 896. Okay, object index is exactly what I'd expect. It's extra. 5 is extra. 6 is area. And 1 is the cistern. Then why is I? Makes no sense. Oh my god. Look, I is 5, 6, or 1 minus 5, 5, 6. Oh. That's not 1201. And that is the area phone define. Area. That's extra plus 600. And extra is 5,000. What is happening? Do I need to put this in parentheses? What is happening? Oh. 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 I think I solved it. Minus, oh my god. That's insidious. It's extra plus 600. Of course that doesn't work. Oh my god. Okay, let me fix this and then I assure you there's some piece of code depending on this that'll break the whole game. But that was the bug. I'm gonna have to put all of them in parentheses. Well, I'm actually not doing math with these indices, so it should be fine. Oh God. Well, that's actually... It can go. Oh my God. Let's not do that. Let's not do that now. Let's do it only for the big ones that I might do math with. Oh, okay. And those. Okay, let's do the actual code. If I is less than 61, I is forest plus I. It is equal. I don't need the if. The else, I mean. If it's exactly 61, then it is world, and else it is coast. And the object is I. Area 66. Well, now I need to check that this actually worked. Well, they disappeared. Do they get... Ooh, what is this? This is pretty bad. What did I do? What did I do now? Okay, that's better. That is better. But... Seven, seven, seven. Oh God, what is a location that I know for sure? That's the cistern. Yeah, okay, that's okay. Then these are river ruins. Yep. And those are forest ruins. Yep. And this is something basin. Overlook Ridge. Shallow basin. This is lakeside ruins. Okay, this looks good. Looks good. Yeah. Okay, thank God. So the... I'll now have to save this. So let's make a copy. Before I have to change 1,000 markers by hand. Okay, saved. So now to the actual part. What I want to do is when a rock or a boulder is spawned, in a new entity. Yeah, here. Case rock, case boulder. If and I should make a help. Yeah. So I need the region, not just the area. Patch. Have the area here. Let's add a region. That costs 4 points. And then in the tile find patches function, I'll set that so I can read it later as often as I want. So this is the type. And this should actually be the kind. No, shouldn't. This is the kind. That's not the type. Yeah. Okay, so now I can get the patch. If patch is patch at x, y, l, and that has a position p is not null, switch patch region, case coast, and case forest. I need the patch. Let's invert this so it's cleaner, easier to read. So if it's forest, then the color is gray. Else, color is brown. That's it. Actually, don't need the gray because that's default, but let's leave that in. And now for the big reveal. Drum roll, please. And I jump in, and the rocks are brown. But yeah, I haven't... Well... Everything that is not... not in the game doesn't drum rolling. Everything that's not in that's not in a patch and that has rocks on it doesn't abide by this, of course. So that's horrible. That didn't work. But that was just plan A. Plan B isn't that much harder in that I replaced the objects with replaced the stones with other stones. Oh god. Yeah, I think this was a pretty stupid exercise, but it's good for the future. But I will have to do this by hand, but I can, well, I can't actually. I thought I could flood the themes, but I already placed all the objects. And if I say replace them with the algorithm, that also wouldn't catch those on the hills. But I can flood those. So maybe a two-parted approach. Well, that happens when you don't think of ideas beforehand. But that's okay. That's how this works. Well, actually, I can... what can I? So the problem is the ledges. These ledges, the lines basically, they don't count as patches. So they're all gray. So all the stones on the ledges, I can't catch them. And make them a sand color when using the patches to decide the region. Because of course I only want to change the colors here in this region, not in the forest. But yeah, maybe I'll have to, yeah, I think I'll just have to. This is not that important. It's pretty important. It's kind of important. But I can also do that next week. There are much more important things. So yeah, let's admit defeat to the region marker gods for today. And yeah, I'll go offline and I'll work on the dungeons. So it's going pretty well. Let me look at the list. I have a large checklist for the region. I have about 20 passes over the world. Some of them take a whole day, others just an hour or so. And I'm halfway through. And the rest isn't that time intensive. It's more yeah, it's more programming. So that's pretty fast usually. Yeah. The most important thing I haven't done is dungeons. So I'll do that today. Between 5 and 10 dungeons. 10 would be... Well, actually, I don't need 10. If I look at the area, probably more like 7 something. So that's... hopefully I can do that today. But that would be 1 hour per dungeon, which is cutting it close. But I still have... Yeah, I could continue tomorrow. And then, so, I mean, if you're interested, I can read them. I can read the passes to you. So there's a terrain pass. That's just broad strokes, elevations, etc. Building pass. Managing all the buildings. I have a region access pass, so that I give the new region enough accesses from the old regions that it's well connected. Then I have a theme pass, which is where I flood fill predefined combinations of objects over the whole world with different ones for different layers. Then I have a connectivity pass, and that's the connectivity between all the patches in the new region. Then I have a repair pass, which is when I go through and repair all the weird spots in the topology. Then I have an interior pass, which is when I just create the interiors, just the geometry and the textures, no contents. Then I have the dungeon pass, which I'll do next. Then I have a puzzles pass for all the puzzle rooms, a secrets pass for the secrets in the dungeons. And then come the splotches pass, is when I sprinkle texture variations for the terrain all over the world to make it more interesting. So that would be a dirt patch in a field of grass, for example. And then I have a rearrangement pass, where I go over all the randomly placed objects and arrange them in more playful manners. Then I have the rocks and boulders pass, to place boulders in situations where you could use them against enemies. Then I have the containers and furniture pass, where I place basically loot all over the world. Then I have the monster camp pass, it's where I, just as it says, place all the monsters in the world. Then there's another connectivity pass, because since the last connectivity pass changes the terrain quite a bit. Then area names, NPCs, and sound. That is the checklist for a new region. And that's what's not in there is new traversement features, for example. Is that a word? World traversing features, like maybe a rope across a chasm where you can hook yourself into, or something like that. Yeah, that's not in there. But yeah, I'm in the middle. I'm at of the dungeon pass. I have today, tomorrow, and the day after that, and the day after that. So up until including Thursday to finish this, which is a lot of work still, but I think that's doable. Yeah. Maybe not in the complete form that I would like, but I did second passes over all the last regions, which I'll probably need here as well in the future. All right. Okay, guys, I'm going offline and continue the work. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks, Ethan. Thanks, McNilly. Appreciate it. And generally, thank you for all the support. If you're watching this on YouTube, the game is off 20% on Steam. So, and it has a demo. So if you want to check it out, feel free to do that. Okay, all right. That's it from me for today, and I'll be back probably tomorrow. All right. Bye, guys.